Hi, it's Andrew at Permanent Records, and I want to talk about Pro Tools First. Pro Tools First is not out yet, but it's coming out soon. It is a free version of Avid's Pro Tools. It's not as full-featured as some of the other versions, but if you're a filmmaker, they include a feature called Elastic Time, which is one of the greatest features of Pro Tools. I use it all the time for just about everything. So what Elastic Time does is let you set markers on your audio and then time stretch it anywhere in between. So if you've got a marker here at the beginning of a sentence and a marker here at the end of a sentence, you can grab the middle word and stretch it, and it will compress on either side of it or expand whatever's going on. Makes it really easy to take audio that maybe wasn't perfect, like for example an airplane flies overhead while you're filming, or maybe wind blows directly into the microphone, or clothes are rubbing on a lav or something. Either way, chances are you still have material good enough to use to manually sync newly recorded dialogue. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. Let's take a look at my Pro Tools, which is not exactly the same as Pro Tools First, but the workflow will be the same. And if it's not, I will do another video when Pro Tools First comes out, because I'm going to download it and play with it anyway. Here we go. So here is my Pro Tools session. I've hidden my video track. I actually have a video track because I'm not using Pro Tools Free, but let's just pretend. So I'll hide my video track. And then this track here where it says live mic, that's just my voice right now. And then Roger ADR is the line I'm going to re-record. And then this is the audio from my camera. So here's what Roger says.
We live in the same building, and we met when I brought a pizza once.
So it's really quiet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate the line he says. I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to grab this little knob here and just boost it up until we can actually see it. So let's try that again.
We live in the same building, and we met when I brought a pizza once. And we just started saying hi in the hallways after that.
We're in the same building until we found this gym.
So actually I only want to record up to here.
After that.
So I like to chop it up. So once I've got my section isolated.
We live in the same building, and we met when I brought a pizza once. And we just started saying hi in the hallways after that.
So that's what I want to say. I will likely play through it a few times and kind of learn what he says. And then, let's just assume I've done that, and we'll go ahead and record. So here you can see I've recorded my audio. We'll just have a listen to that. We live in the same building, and we met when I brought them pizza once. And we just started saying hi in the hallways after that. So now we'll hear them together and see if, it's fairly close.
We live in the same building, and we met when I brought them pizza once. And we just started saying hi in the hallways after that.
So it's not horrible. It's pretty close. So we'll grab this little triangle here. This enables and disables elastic audio. Because it's a voice, you can only say one pitch at a time. We'll choose monophonic. And then up here you can see these two things. They will turn red for a second generally. Because I only have this much to do right now. It processed it instantly almost. So we'll go, we've got our monophonic selected. We'll go choosing from waveform and turn this to warp. So you can see we've got all these lines now. Just zoom in on that. These lines represent the beginning of new words and syllables. So first thing we want to do is between each sentence, we'll grab the beginning of, well, we'll grab the first word in each sentence. How's that? The reason we do that is, say I'm grabbing this word here, and that's not selected. If I want to stretch time, it'll move everything around. So now if I grab this, the next sentence won't be buggered up. So the best way to do this is to do it in large motions, the biggest motions you can. So we can see this starts up around here, and we'll just listen to that.
We live in the same building, and we met.
That was pretty close, just by stretching the first part of the sentence.
We live in the same building. 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 We live in the same building.
That's really close. We can sort of see this starts right about there, and that actually stretched out this second word, or whatever this is, to line up more closely with that.
And
just gonna nudge that just a hair back. And by back I mean forwards. That's great. Now we'll go over to the third sentence.
we met when I brought them pizza once.
Second sentence, whatever. It's pretty close though.
We met when I brought them pizza once.
That's actually really good. I'm a pro, what can I say?
We met when I brought them pizza once.
Now it's going to sound a little dissonant because I'm not exactly on pitch with him and my voice is quite a bit different, but that's okay. As long as it is close in time, that's the only part that really matters at this point.
And we just started saying hi in the hallways after that.
So I start talking way before he does, so we'll just try that.
And we just started saying hi in the hallways after that. And we just started saying hi in the hallways after that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to really mess with this one, I think.
And we just started saying hi. And we just started saying hi in the hallways after that. And we just started.
I believe this right here is just. If we find just up here.
And we just started saying hi in the hallways after. And we just started saying hi in the. And we just started saying hi in the hallways after. Just started saying hi in the hallways after that.
This last word here.
Just started saying hi in the hallways after that.
And let's listen to the whole section here.
We live in the same building, and we met when I brought them pizza once. And we just started saying hi in the hallways after that.
We're in the same building.
So, now that it's close, really close. In fact, I think the only word that I would change is right here.
We live in the same building, and
It's gonna drive me crazy if I don't.
And
there we go. safety save. We export this, and then we, say we're in our video editing software. We've imported the new audio. We've synced it up. And then this happens. We live in the same building, and we met when I brought them pizza once. And we just started saying hi in the hallways after that. So it's unnaturally clean. We'd want to throw in some ambient room tone and, maybe some plastic shuffling from the plastic that's on the couch. But definitely the audio is a lot cleaner. I forgot to mention a step, actually. Let's go back. So now we've got this audio. We're happy with the way it sounds. We live in the same building, and there's still some weird artifacts there. Live in the same building. So what do? We change it from monophonic, real-time, to monophonic, rendered. So we change that to rendered. It processes it almost instantly because it's such a small file, but if you've got like 6 voices and a whole scene, it might take a couple of minutes. I did 20 tracks of drums yesterday, and it took maybe 15 minutes to process a 6-minute song. So it's not super fast, but it's not ridiculously slow either. Anyway, let's listen to that now. We live in the same building, and we met when I brought them pizza once. So I'm not going, we live in the same building. It smoothed it over. We live in the same building, and we met when I brought them pizza once. And we just started saying hi in the hallways after that. As you can see, it's not overly time consuming to manually sync dialogue to an existing video file, provided you have something to work with in the first place. I found out recently that there's still some people that just make the actors say it again and again and again until it syncs up, and that's insane. That blows my mind. Even trying to stack background vocals when you've got like drums for a tempo is a super pain in the butt. So anyway, I would suggest downloading Pro Tools first when it comes out and playing with it. Obviously I've been using it for years, so I'm pretty quick, but some tips: if you mark the first word and the last word first as your first step, per sentence, and then find somewhere in the middle and grab it in the middle. And, if you can sync up the first and the last as you move the middle, the beginning and end points will stay the same. And the majority of the time, when you move the middle word, it pulls everything else either in time or way closer to being in time, and will save you a whole lot of work. Obviously, if there's no music playing, it can seem really unnaturally quiet. So you might want to record some room tone, or throw in some sound effects to just add more sound. It's if you do a quality studio recording, even if your studio is a mic in a closet, it almost sounds gated. Like you've got your sound and then it stops and then it's dead silent, and that is just totally unnatural. And if you've got any questions about any of this, feel free to send me an email at andrew@permanentrecords.ca. And normally I'm holding a guitar and play a little outro ditty.